You read about it and you've heard people talk about it, about having a peace that passes all understanding. But until you experience it, you can't fully understand it. And even when you experience it, you can't explain it. I'm Doug Banks.
I'm Karen Banks.
And we've been at Chestnut Mountain now for, I think, about 6 years. And we've been married 35, going on 36 years. Our difficult path really began in the summer of 2022 when Karen was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. No one's really prepared for that word and that type of diagnosis. And at first we were scared. We didn't know what to expect. We just knew that that type of cancer typically is pretty bad. And
I kind of like, no, I don't have cancer. You read things and you might have cancer. And I was like, oh no, it's going to come back. It's going to be good. And then when it actually did come back that I had cancer, I felt a peace. I mean, I knew it was going to be tough. I have seen people go through cancer. But I felt peace then that God had, just in the way it was diagnosed and some of the things that, He was going to take care of that.
We met with an oncologist, and in his office is when he broke down what stage it was, and it was a very high stage 3. The only thing that kept it from being a stage 4 is it had not reached the blood vessel that goes right across the top of the pancreas. Went through 6 months of chemo radiation and 28 consecutive radiation treatments. And now, some 2.5 years later, what was your latest result from the doctor?
Everything was clear.
Everything was clear. As hard as that was, we had no idea it was about to get so much worse. Because in the early morning hours of April 25th, 2024, our oldest son took his own life. As a parent, one thing you want to do more than anything is be there for your kids. But not being able to be there when he needed me most, to hug him and tell him that we're going to get through it. It's not going to be easy, but I'm right here with you, and we're going to get through it. But it was during that hardest moment that I felt the Holy Spirit just fill me up. But not only that, I felt the Lord's presence next to me. And it's in those most difficult times that you can't explain, but that's when God is the closest. I didn't have to ask for it. It was just like He came running to us as we were hurting. And His goodness is undeniable. Things got worse yet again very shortly thereafter, because 26 days later, after Jordan took his own life, Karen got a phone call that our youngest son had been in an accident, and he got electrocuted with 7,200 volts and went into cardiac arrest, had CPR performed on him for 9 minutes. And then they shocked his heart, got it started, and they life flighted him from the north end of Lake Burton, all the way to Augusta. We saw God do so many things in a short period of time with him and healing him, because we went from being life-flighted to walking out of ICU. 6 days later, he walked out and we came home.
Well, you know, so many people never get to see a miracle. And now, it was a miracle that I survived cancer. God healed me. But with Jacob, we saw that miracle. We stood there and we watched in 6 days how God performed a miracle. And to be in Augusta's not just Northeast Georgia. Augusta's several hours away. And we left going down there with nothing. I did grab a phone charger and a coat, but that was about it. And 2 hours later, or really less than that, there was people walking in the door for us. My family showed up. People from our church showed up. It was just amazing to see the support we had.
I think I counted 12 people that showed up in Augusta. They didn't have to say anything. Just showing up was huge. When I saw people come around the corner, I'm just like, here they come to help hold us up, and forever grateful for our church family and our friends and our family as well. And one of the things that I found was a quote that said, "You never really know the strength of an anchor until it's been through a storm." And I can assure you that the anchor that is God is strong. He can weather any storm, and he can hold. And our prayer's always been that God would use these stories and these circumstances and use us to be able to help others and show them that there really is hope in Jesus. Because there's no way that we would have made it through any of this without him.
I want to show my appreciation to God because he is good. We've had a lot of tragedy, but we've also had a lot of good. And a lot of good comes from those tragedies. I don't know, with Jordan, I feel like there's been lives touched by his life and by his death. And I hate that we had to suffer that, but if God used that to help someone else, it was all worth it.
Through it all, God is still God. He is still good. And you really can trust him.